Hey everyone, gonna be doing a review, or I guess suppose just my overall verdict on the MZ1 Zeiss rail. Hold on. So here's the box really quickly. It's from XTRFY and it's gonna be the collaboration with RocketJumpNinja. I've been using it for a while now, and well, I think I have enough to have my opinion on it generally. So this is an older mice, you know. So that's gonna, I feel like if they updated it definitely could be a better contender, that's for sure, because it's a little, I see a little outdated, like the sensor's a little outdated. Not that that's really an issue, I'd say. You know, it's obviously there's a cable, there's a wireless version, but that costs more. It's still relatively heavy. I mean, it's not heavy, but it's not lightweight either. It's just 56 grams excluding the cable, and that's with a cable. So I mean, it's not heavy, but like it could be lighter is what I'm saying. Anyways, let me talk about this mouse overall, what I think about it. So first of all, the RGB is honestly pretty cool. I know that's like not that important to some people, and like kind of, you know what I mean, like it's like it's not super important, but I don't know. I actually like it. It's actually quite well done. So, like I do like it. Anyways, enough about the RGB. As for the mouse in general, I am sad that the cable is there. It's not a deal breaker, but it is like a negative against it, I guess. Most people, I mean, I don't know. It's not a deal breaker, but it is a point that makes it more likely I don't want to use it, you know. But yeah, I think it uses KLG Mates, which is the same clicks as my other budget gaming mouse uses, the Uhuru gaming mouse. They sound very different, but I'm pretty sure they're both KLG Mates. But yeah, so what do I think about this after all my time using this? I really like it in a lot of ways. Like this is giving me very similar to the vibes of the OP1 and what I thought about it in terms of like I really like the idea of this. I you know, it's really great in a lot of ways, or like it has the potential, but for me it's just not the right shape. I maybe didn't give it enough time, but like every time I used it, I just really felt like I needed to go back to something else. Like it just always felt more restrictive. And that's me. Keep in mind, I use fingertip grip. So like my favorite current mice are right now seem to be the HTR as well as the Beast Mini. So I'm a very fingertip grip mice, and this is smaller too, but the shape is a little bit different in terms of it goes. You see, there's like a little hump in the back, while these a little bit, you know, have a little bit more like no hump in the back. So some things I like about the HTR, not the HTR, sorry, the MZ1 is the low click button height. I really like how the clicks are super low. That's one of my favorite things about it. Like really just amazing. The finger contours, they have a lot of contouring. Like you see, the Beast Mini doesn't have that much contouring, or I guess it does. It's just not as super pronounced as the MZ1, where it's like really pronounced, I suppose. It's basically like you could just fit your fingers in. It feels kind of nice. I think some people might like that, some people might like that, but for me, I think it's fine. I like it. But I can't say everyone will. So I really like the low button height. It just feels nice. It's something I really appreciate. But for me, as a fingertip grip player, this hump in the back is entirely useless, and in fact hinders me, because when I use fingertip grip and I do this personally, immediately I hit my palm, like, or my hand when I do this, and it does restrict my movement. So personally, for fingertip grip, it's not bad by any means. It's really not. But if you wanted to go fingertip optimized, then for me so far, I really enjoy the HTR or the Beast Mini, because that problem isn't really there, or barely. You know, I'd have to go really far back, as you can see, and the HTR obviously like can't do it unless I really try. You know. Well, this one kind of happens immediately. So for fingertip grip, you can do better, but it's not bad. It's still pretty good in a lot of ways. One thing I really don't know how I feel about is the buttons. Not the buttons, let me turn off the RGB, at least make it darker or something, because it's kind of, sure. What's it called? Is the holes. So I'm not sure how I feel about the whole design here, because it's like, it's so, for a shape is king kind of mouse, one thing I really don't like about it is it does feel like it actually kind of forces you to use a certain grip. For one, the comfort grooves. Two, the holes. You can see all those holes right here. And like look how specific this hole placement is. It is clearly meant where if you don't put your fingers there, you kind of have to deal with the holes. And at that point, it's like, what the heck, right? Like same thing with everything else. It's not the biggest deal in the world, and especially my grip, it's pretty close to it actually. So like my thumb's right there, my fingers right there, my you can see my other fingers are like pretty much right on the grooves, right, I guess. But if I even bother to move my mouse a little bit, like sometimes I adjust my hand a little bit, it goes off and it feels wrong. So that's one thing I really don't like about it either, is that it kind of does, it just rubs me the wrong way. I think you should either have holes the entire way so you can put grip tape on it, or no holes at all, if that makes sense. Because it's just like, at this point, you're saving like maybe 2 grams, you know what I mean? Like it's just not worth it. Around here, sure, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like the back, I don't know, man. Just not on the sides, man. I don't know. But yeah, I like the scroll wheel. It's relatively heavy. It's really slow. It's I don't know. It's fine. It's there's nothing too particularly special, but I like it. It's cool. It's good. You know, nothing. Yeah. Side buttons, same thing, pretty much. Yeah, it's unremarkable, I suppose. But what I really want to talk about is, as much as I really like this a lot of ways, for me, I can't help but just feel like if this part were gone, his half part were gone, how good of a mouse this would be for me in terms of fingertip grip. Because like, let's say if this part were cut off all the way like up here, this might be like my favorite mouse, hands down, in terms of shape. I don't really know though. So for me, that's fingertip grip, obviously. For other people, this is clearly like a more claw shape. You know, it's super easy, like immediately a claw, it's like puts, you know, it's perfect for that, I think. So well, as much as I want it and be like, yo, this is like the mouse, the shape, the shape is king mouse, like, oh, you need to try it. I don't know. For me, a fingertip grip player, I guess I already knew what I wanted. Maybe that's why. But I couldn't love it as much as I wanted to. I still like it in a lot of ways, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bad with it. I'm really not. It's just that I felt more comfortable with other things. But like I said, even if you watch RocketJumpNinja's video, he does say you need to put a lot of time into a mouse, like a month or I don't know. And I did not give it that time, to be honest. So I cannot say like with definite, like I could not say with 100% confidence that this is something I wouldn't, you know, maybe like more if I just kept using it. But my gut told me otherwise, and I just decided to give up on it, honestly. But that doesn't mean it's not worth trying. I think this is definitely one of the most interesting shapes I've ever tried, hands down, from a new mouse. Like, yeah, it was definitely the most like, oh wow, this is so strange. And it is still fun to use. Like, it's still a great mouse, I think. But yeah, I think the biggest drawbacks are that it's a little outdated. And well, that's the second reason. The top reason is the shape. For me, if the shape is the perfect, like the HTR or the B6 Mini, then that's the biggest shape, the biggest thing. Secondly is weight for me, because I'm a fingertip grip player, so the lighter it is, the better. Just kind of how I play. I prefer lighter weights. So those both kind of fail in the MZ1 for me, just because the fingertip, this hump right here is basically, you know, whatever. The weight is 56. It's not terrible. It's just not great. And there's a cable, which makes it a little bit heavier, you know, especially if you, I don't know, kind of annoying. So those are going to be the biggest deal breakers for me. The price isn't terrible. I think it's around, I don't remember, I think it's 40 or 50 on sale. I don't know, let's just say I think it's around 50. And for the price, I think it's fine. Like, even today, if you were to buy this, I wouldn't say you got scammed or anything. I think it's fine. I think you probably could get better, but if you liked the shape a lot, then I would say stick with this one. Like, this is it. If you like the shape, or if you don't, if you have a clear shape preference, obviously, I think that's, you know, it's still really cool. I still really like a lot of ways. You can still very much perform in this. But yeah, I didn't really care for the skates that much. Oh, you know what? Let me talk about actually quickly how about the software, the software implementation in terms of like controlling it. There's no software actually. You actually control all of it on the mouse. So like example, if you want to change, let's get to a different one. So if you want to change the color of like this one cycles between the RGB modes. But if you want to change the colors, you hold this button down and you right click or left click, and it changes the colors, as you can see. Oh, I guess just right click. Never mind. I thought it was left click, but you can see it changes colors. It's the same thing with all the presets. So like if you wanted to, this one's like I think that's static. This one's phase shift. Maybe this one doesn't change. Maybe this one just changes automatically. I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't change it. But for some, the ones that you can change colors. You do that, and then you can hold this and change the speed of it. I think with these. No, this is the brightness. This is the brightness. But basically, it doesn't need software, and well, it's kind of cool and you kind of get used to it. I don't know if I consider that a win. It's fine, but as much as I do appreciate that, personally, I would just like the software because of everything else the software could provide. For example, everything else is on here. RGB, polling rate, lift off distance, F11, which is just the extra button that they give you now, which is, I believe, is the DPI button. This just does F11 now. And that's cool and all, but I'd rather just be able to do whatever I want with it. You know what I mean? Like if I want to change to like something else, then I don't want to have to be forced to F11 or like, you know what I mean? It's just like, this is cool now, but this is only if you can't really use a software. And I guess some people might not prefer the software, and that's okay. But like, I don't know, man. For me, I'd personally just rather have the comfortability of being able to do whatever I want with it than basically never opening the software again, or very rarely, you know what I mean? Versus this, where it's just limited no matter what. You also have to learn a little bit of like the what's it called? You know, like the controls. Like I told you had to mention like this changes cycle, this changes the DPIs, not DPI, the RGB like modes, this changes the color of it, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of unnecessary. It's not definitively bad, objectively bad. Just for me, I think I would have preferred software, but whatever. Anyways, besides that though, cool, not terrible. I don't hate it. It's just I have a preference. Secondly, the skates. I don't really like the skate cutouts. I don't care that much for them. Like it's not like it's the deal breaker at all by any means, but it's just like kind of strange. Like these are tiny and these are like off axis, or not off axis, uneven, and that's because the shape isn't even though it looks like it is for a bit. It's not, so that's why. But like also it's like just a little strange, you know. Not a deal breaker, like I said, not at all. It's just kind of a little weird, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna be the MZ1. Despite how much I said a lot of things I don't like about it, this is a mouse that I really want to get behind. I think that if it were to be updated and it can be fixed in a few ways, like example, they fix the whole problem, wireless. Well, the shape thing is preference, so I mean that's just me. I don't know, maybe like very simple skate cutouts. I don't know, man. If those few issues were fixed and it's lighter, then this would be a top tier mouse without a doubt. Top tier. Even in the shape department, it's very unique. So for now, I think the only thing not the only thing, but the biggest thing this has going for it is its shape and how it's very unique. And RGB. I guess RGB is really nice, to be honest. RGB is really nice. So if you care about RGB, that's also another consideration. But yeah, otherwise, I don't. Like I said, I don't think this is a bad value or anything, but I don't think this would be my top recommendation unless you cared about RGB and or shape the most, which this is a very interesting shape. It's still a very top performing mouse. It's nothing I could not perform with, you know. It's just in terms of like the best, you know, then this would not be it for me. So that's going to be the mouse. I do really like the clicks of it. Kind of random to bring up now, but like I don't know, just the overall experience. I liked the experience overall. Just I liked a lot of it. Mostly the shape, but there's just a lot of things about it, small things that like are not to my preference. It's not to say it's bad, because weight is also opinion, shape is opinion, the holes are opinion, the cable, you know, I guess that's more objective, where most people would prefer no cable. But like it's not a deal breaker. People use the OP1 for a reason, right? And like the skates also opinion. And a software thing also opinion, I suppose. I don't know. Just, yeah, it's a lot of opinion things. But generally, I'm going to leave my video here. I've been rambling enough. This has been the MZ1. I want to like it more, but one thing I love about it, the shape. It's really cool. It's really interesting. So I'd say it's worth a go if you want to like try with a different shape and you don't know your shape. You don't know your grip. I don't know. It's perfect for trying that out. That's what I will say. All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you want to see more reviews or different videos or anything like that at all, feel free to like and sub, but that's totally up to you whether you do or not. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Other than that, I think that's going to be my video on the MZ1. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.